Hello, everybody, and welcome to Full Focus, the cinema-based entertainment podcast where a couple of freelancers come together to talk shop. My name is Mike, and as always, I'm joined by my brother in crime, my astute professional, my holidayed out, possibly, partner, and all things this and that, Mr. Robert Andrus. Andrus, hello, sir.
Oh, I would bow, but I'm not getting an applause yet.
I know.
Yes, and...
Technical difficulties. But I owe you one.
No. That's fine. I'm okay with this outcome.
I gave instructions to our astute audience inside the studio to
they're
keep
not
it under
that
wraps.
astute.
They're not that astute.
If they're not applauding. No applause. Nay, studio audience. Nay.
How dare you?
How dare?
Maybe it's because they're extremely intimidated and amazed by our special guest.
Special guest.
Special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, a legend in my life. One of the few people that I can actually yell at and actually get yelled from without breaking with getting a migraine. Miss Sharon Hayes, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Nice. The video's breaking.
The audience is breaking.
The audience is breaking.
The audience was so overwhelmed by the legend that they had to break.
Yes.
Indeed.
But it's my ma, guys. My mom has gifted us with her presence this evening.
Episode 2 for the mom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Right.
I guess does that make it a series officially?
Oh my
or do we have
Well,
to get 3 of them?
she's a series guest for
Oh my
sure.
gosh,
Yeah.
you're a guest star.
Recurring.
Oh my God.
recurring special.
Recurring special.
guest star.
I love
Moms
it.
are always special guest
Moms are always
stars.
special
guest
guest
stars.
You always have to do that.
Absolutely.
But it's good to see you, Mom. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
We're coming at you guys with the power of 3, and it's good because this particular movie that we got for you guys this time around is
Don't
going to take everybody's
give me
energy.
the exasperated breath as you're about to introduce it.
Okay.
Because that's a dead giveaway on how you
Right.
feel.
Absolutely.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, man.
Do we really have to talk about this one?
I can handle.
Why? You're welcome for that.
I'm going to take like snippets of. That's what I should have done the whole year that we've been recording or whatever. We've been recording a little bit over. That's another thing too. Happy New
anniversary.
Year, happy
Yeah.
anniversary, all this
Yeah.
other
Cheers.
stuff. Cheers to you, sir. Clink.
Clink.
Cheers, Mom.
Thank you.
Yeah, we've been recording for definitely over a year now consecutively. We got about 20 some odd episodes and a dog barking outside on our little YouTube page. So
I call that the car alarm.
it's organic, so it's okay. It's
It
working.
is. It is.
But
If it's your dog, then
it is my dog.
it is your dog.
Oh man.
Then that means we're about to hear a door open and someone say hi.
And we're gonna get interrupted. And
Or it's just a car alarm.
True.
okay, we're gonna have a little pause in
think
the
you're
action. Yeah, I think you're right. We're gonna have a little pause in the action because things are going crazy here, which is great because the movie we're gonna be talking about is complete insanity.
Exciting.
But,
Energy.
Absolutely.
Ah.
But we'll get back to you guys in just 1 second. So anyway, we're back.
Do we need to do a sound sync?
Whoa. Woof.
All right.
Woo. Down, boy, down.
Car alarm.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
I can hear it.
This is gonna be definitely a hardcore post-production episode because I'm gonna be editing out all these clicks and passes, and then I'll buy a new computer and then we'll be all good. But anyway,
Or
or
just treat it as it is.
I love it.
This is the raw version.
You know
That's
what?
right.
You know who? I don't know.
Unedited.
Well, speaking of, I don't think I'd be able to actually review this film that we're about to watch without talking about post-production editing.
Sure.
Because it was heavy and some might think amazing and possibly pretty
Overdone.
intellectual and overdone when it comes to Michael Bay, of course, everybody. We're talking about 6 Underground. Here we go.
No, we're not. We are.
But were they really?
We are. I love the music.
So many tubas. So many tubas.
Right now, you know that.
Oh my
Got
god.
an issue.
These cuts make me nauseous, I swear. But they're still pretty good.
We have 15 minutes.
It's time.
Hit it.
Cue gratuitous violence.
Here we go. The THX sound coming in.
Hello, boys.
I want to know how she got that mask. Did somebody hand it to her 2 scenes ago? 'Cause
What if
she
I
didn't
told
have
you?
it before.
Oh, no,
I know
she
what
hid
happens
it.
when you die.
Where?
Exactly.
Become a ghost.
I want to know where
She hit
Netflix
it.
got the money to afford this production.
criminal
You want to know?
Oh,
No
dude.
more office parties.
You know? Our stupid weddings.
Shit, we're missing the plot. We're missing the plot. So,
Not really.
not really. You can't really miss it.
The plot?
Not there. No, too early. Too much too soon.
Politics.
No one touch. He's mine.
Goodness.
We answer to no one. We could take
That
out
would've
some
been really
truly
neat if it was
evil
real.
people.
I think all of it would have been really neat if it was real.
Oh my god.
I agree, though.
Oh my god.
I just laughed through
Yeah.
all of the blood and gore.
None of us will be remembered. What's about to happen will.
Did you see the bag?
Bad ones, right?
The what?
The mask was in the bag.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We're no one.
If they exist,
I'm guessing.
Yeah, you're
they
right.
can be made not to.
They have fighter jets!
They have fighter jets.
You see that? You see that?
I've got to say, I've got a newfound appreciation for that color, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The color,
It
I like
is
it.
humorous.
It's not puke green anymore. It's neon puke green, which makes it.
it's neon lime.
There you go.
It's delicious.
Neon lime. I like it. Yeah. Good name for a band. Oh. Ooh. Okay. I like that scene a
I
lot.
have to say, I
Yeah.
rather
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. Oh my goodness.
I wasn't sure it would work. I mean, I wasn't sure. I had a suspicion, but this is all so fucking dangerous.
Okay. So if you guys haven't been able to guess yet, this is Six Underground, the latest, and I believe possibly record-breaking when it comes to the financial needs of the film. Michael Bay flick that came out, completely produced, bought, taken care of by our friends at Netflix Studios, and holy crap. Because I know that I've been saying this before we started recording and everything, but it is my opinion that we have reached full Michael Bay. It's 2020. Happy New Year, everybody! And now Netflix, you're shaking your head, Andrus, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say. But
There will never be full Michael Bay. There will never be full Michael Bay.
we've gone full Bay,
No,
Andrus.
no.
We've gone full.
This is maybe
Bay.
50%.
No, don't say
No.
that. That is a terrifying concept.
Come on now.
Oh Jesus.
Come on now.
So
look at
anyway.
where the world is going.
Truly, that's
and there's going to be more Michael Bay, and he's going to outdo every Michael Bay every time.
okay. You're
Just
talking.
saying.
Hopefully,
He's
you're
Michael
talking
Bay.
nonsense, but no, you're not talking nonsense
No,
at all.
he's Michael Bay. Come
It
on.
must be very tiring to have
To be Michael Bay?
to be Michael
Is that where you're going? It must be
To have
tiring to
to
be Michael Bay.
top what you've done when it's
Heavy is
so
the head that
toppable,
wears the
so
crown.
untoppable.
Not really.
No?
Okay.
No.
Let me get a brief
You know why?
synopsis. Or
Why?
not.
Because
Keep
he
going.
hires people to do it.
True that.
And it's a challenge for everybody.
And I can't wait to celebrate those people because,
Yeah.
again, even if it is 50% Bay, this movie was a lot. Brief synopsis by Mr. Peter Tilbrook off of IMDb.com. What's the best part of being dead? It's the freedom to fight the evil which lurks in our world. Six Underground's group of unarmed individuals have chosen unnamed. Thank you.
Yeah.
They are definitely armed. Unnamed individuals have chosen to change the future. The team's brought together by an enigmatic leader, codenamed One, whose sole mission is to ensure that he and his fellow teammates will have their actions remembered.
They should have said his solo mission.
Yeah, exactly.
And gone with the one solo.
What?
Get it?
Right.
What?
What?
Oh, dear.
What?
let's dive into what this movie is really about. The story, if you can call it that, is about a group of people who are going through and fighting generic bad guys who are really, really bad, who can't be liked in any way possible. We're talking about people who commit mass genocide, modern-day Hitlers in Gucci suits. And it's their job to go about the country, financed by this enigmatic multi-billionaire played by Ryan Reynolds, to go across the world and kill people who are doing bad stuff before they do more bad stuff. That's pretty much it. In that particular story, though,
In a world where you can change the world
unlimited
with your
money.
billions of dollars.
Hold on a second. We can make that a little bit more fun, I think. In a world. Where
world where Ryan Reynolds is a billionaire.
Perfect. Like unlimited money, unlimited capabilities. They go out and they kick a lot of ass, and that's where the movie saves itself. It's also where it loses itself. We'll get into it. Andrus, what are your thoughts about this latest incarnation of Michael Bay's fever dream?
Michael Bay's fever dream.
Yeah.
I thought it was completely entertaining.
Yeah.
Completely. It's a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah,
I'm not necessarily going there to watch an amazing story plot.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. It is what it is. Now, he's done some movies in the past. Like, I forgot that he did Armageddon.
Right.
I looked back a while ago and I'm like, see, Armageddon had a plot.
It did have a plot.
And it was well acted, well done, all of that.
Great cast.
And honestly, this one kind of felt the same for me because the first time I watched it, I thought that it was okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, yay. It was a fun movie.
So you had to watch this twice.
Yay.
Which I apologize for.
Well, no, I watched it again because we decided to do the podcast.
Right.
on
I
it.
wanted to bring Mom in so that we could
Yeah.
get an opinion about it's actually her idea. She gave me a call before she came in for the holidays.
Nice.
Because we're recording this on January 5th, 2020, y'all. Happy New Year to all of you once more.
1/5/20.
What? And she said, hey, it would be fun if we did another podcast, but we did it with a movie that I would never, ever watch on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And she said,
I love that.
yeah, Six Underground. Maybe we should check that out. And immediately, I love the idea of talking about it because I knew, without even seeing this movie, what my feelings would be about it.
Right. It's a Michael Bay movie.
It's a Michael
you know
Bay
what
movie.
you're going into.
I agree with you in a lot of ways in regards to that.
Well,
for sure.
one thing that I really appreciated about it being a Michael Bay movie
Yeah.
was I didn't have any of the Transformers voice
Oh, for sure.
issues.
For sure.
I could never understand any of the Transformers, which
Yeah.
kind of was a big downer for me because as a kid, watching Transformers the cartoon
Yeah.
was a big deal.
The nostalgia bug kicked in hard. And
Right.
It was
but then
betrayed.
I saw the movie and I'm like, I can't understand a damn thing anybody's saying.
I couldn't help but think to myself, that's not what they sound like when
Right.
they transform and stuff
It
like
was-
that. It's interesting.
It
but-
was so digital heavy. I'm wondering who made the decision to go that direction with it. Thank God this
Right.
didn't have any
No.
Transformers
This
in it.
one was definitely more analogous.
And what it did have was Muse. And that just made me smile every time one of those songs came on.
I think they did like the whole soundtrack. Maybe
I think they
don't know.
did because I remember looking when I saw the credit roll the first time. I didn't watch the credit roll this time, but I believe so. Regardless, they're very heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Let me see if I can
heavy,
get
heavy in
where
there.
did I look for the full cast and crew again? Is it up?
It's up a little bit more. I thought. There you go. See full cast and crew.
There we go. Keep that up. Mom, what did you think about this? I mean, the last time that you saw a Michael Bay film was probably when you brought me in the theater when I was a kid.
Armageddon.
It was a while ago. Maybe like in college or something, Armageddon came out. Let me find out when Armageddon
It
came
was
out.
like
Anyway,
96.
Well,
96. I was in high school then.
I don't remember doing that, but I don't remember a lot of
99.
things now.
96, 98, somewhere
Okay.
around there.
We'll find out.
Okay.
But go ahead. What were your feelings about this movie as we were watching it on my couch?
The first time that I saw it, actually I saw it on Netflix
98.
on TV.
Yeah.
And when it started with the car chase and all that kind of stuff, I was kind of going, maybe I don't want to watch it. But I enjoyed Ryan Reynolds in most
Yeah.
everything that he
I
does.
think most people do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Super
I think
talented.
Most people do.
Super marketable.
Right?
Yeah, very much so. And so
Are you a
I-
Deadpool fan?
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
Exactly. Deadpool is a character that he played recently.
Oh no, I wasn't.
I would imagine not. Is where I was going.
Mom's
with that.
more of a two girls, a guy, and a pizza shop, or two guys and a girl
understood.
in a pizza shop kind of thing.
Understood.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I have
The proposal.
deep things in
The Proposal's a great movie.
It
The
is.
Proposal is a great movie.
And I think that's really what launched him into
Yeah.
everybody's heart.
Right,
So,
right off of Sandra Bullock's
Somewhere
shoulders.
around there, yeah.
Yeah.
Well-toned, beautiful shoulders. So you saw this and you're like, I don't really think I'm going to dig this. But then you were the one who came up with the idea of like we just sit down and watch it
Well,
together.
because,
Did you think it was going to be fun at least, or do you think it was going to be entertaining at all,
No,
or just a
I
big
did
waste
not.
of time?
Nice. I was not mistaken. Once you got, I mean, the cinematography was beautiful.
Totally, we'll get into that for sure.
I
Well,
enjoyed
it's all
that.
over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. I mean, the still shots, the color combinations, the sharpness of the
Yeah,
close-ups and
Yeah.
stuff. The one that sticks out in my mind is you could almost frame it. It was in a plaza. I'm not sure what country they were in, but it was two nuns walking away from the camera.
I remember what you're talking about, and they had like
And
the
they had
infinity
the-
pool or something like that.
Yeah,
There's like some
yeah,
water in there.
to one side, and they were very, black and white.
Yeah. And like
robes.
one nun had like light on her head, and the other one didn't, or something along those
No,
lines.
they both had black.
Okay.
They both had black veils, and they were walking away from the camera. But just the symmetry of it. I mean, it just really caught me. That's why I remember it.
That's one thing that we have to really. I mean, that's the pink elephant in the room, right? Michael Bay, by all definitions, from a technical standpoint, he is a freaking wizard. I mean, this man is Gandalf on the bridge when it comes to these quick little tastes of cinematography that come up.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that this movie wasn't a movie. It was a group of vignettes that were expertly produced and edited and mastered to a fine sheen, glued together by a lot of shitty dialogue and butt shots.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I mean, like, you can't argue. Like, there are scenes where just like the symmetry, like you're talking about. We have like we have bodies and buildings and different scenery, like crossing the floor, and he does a great job of being able to mix the parallel with the vertical on more than one occasion. It's just there's no story with this particular situation.
Yeah, no, they're not with those kinds of shots.
I did enjoy how like they CGI'd the bodies actually coming out of the
That's what I
cars
was just
when
gonna
there was a
talk
car
about.
crash.
Oh
Holy
my
crap!
God.
There was a
Yeah.
lot of blood in this movie.
was.
dude.
There's a lot of
This is
blood,
the
a lot
bloodiest
of
Michael
bodies.
Bay movie.
A
Yeah.
lot of bodies, and a lot of them sliding towards camera.
Right.
Like that. Oh my gosh, you could
Yeah,
really
shocking.
see.
Right.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
But
it
again,
was-
like that's the mastery that comes into it. Michael Bay has the capability, and of course, like he works with the same people and the same crew, and they're all masters at this. They're able to put so much into the celluloid at one shot. It is ridiculous, the things that you've missed, but also things that you see. Like there's a scene in the movie where an entire boat becomes a magnet, and Ryan
Yeah,
Reynolds'
yeah.
character One is using his phone as an app to access the
Yeah.
magnets and just throw people back and forth.
Throwing back and forth across
Note
the kitchen. And,
to self.
Yeah.
If you decide to make a boat a magnet and you have control with your phone, don't get on the boat
That's
with
right.
the magnets.
yeah.
Just that.
I love it.
That might have been my first observation.
Your first observation? Okay.
Maybe somebody should be remote.
I love it
Maybe
how
somebody should just be a little bit to the side.
See, that's another thing too that we have to call up, but as it is with every Michael Bay film, but this one the most. It has such great cinematography and such incredible action
so
scenes.
beautifully done.
It's so
Yeah.
beautifully done. It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
But when you have plot holes that
Well, I-
just
That hurt.
I'll tell you.
so huge.
If we're gonna get into it later,
I could take that magnet boat and
yeah.
throw it through the plot holes in this film.
Well, sure.
But I mean, that's kind of what you come to expect when it comes to a Michael Bay movie, anyway.
How into it do we want to get like right now?
Like
Just jump
Yeah,
right
just
in.
jump
10,000
right
Leagues
in.
Under
Jump
the
right
Sea.
in.
Go
Jump
right
in
in.
there.
Ryan Reynolds is your leader.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening, everybody. That
the
was
way
Full
that
Focus.
the way
We
that
can-
he set it up too is just like
Yeah.
he's like we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Like there's no way we're gonna win. Like the entire time he's so self-deprecating the entire way through, yet he's the cheerleader. He's a contradiction.
See, if he would have stayed,
the plot is a contradiction.
The plot is a contradiction.
So-
You
Yeah,
make
it
a
is.
good point. Like, it is honorable to its initial synopsis to a fault. I kind of got lost by it when he actually pulled the 180 and saved one of his spoilers, everybody.
Well,
And like
Did he really though?
Yeah.
I don't think it's that much of a 180 is where
Okay.
I was going with
We're
that.
gonna have. I don't have the spoiler sound effect because my computer is dying as we speak. Everybody.
Spoiler alert!
Beautiful.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
We're going to spoil everything in
How's
this
that?
movie, so that's great.
I know.
Hold on. Give it to me. Please.
It's done.
Oh.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler! Yeah, that
See,
was terrible.
I like it better
The other
because
one was better.
that's okay. Reverb fixes everything. It'll be
It
all right.
does. Cue me.
Okay. Ready? In 3, 2, 1.
You will not want to know this. How's that?
That's
I think that was pretty good.
pretty good.
That was good. Yeah.
So if you haven't seen the movie yet, obviously, like 20 minutes into the episode, I mean, don't stop listening, and then come back and listen to us and agree with us because we're
But
right.
you've already seen it.
You've already seen it,
I
haven't
know
you?
you.
You have.
You have
Of
already
course.
seen it.
See, you raise a really good point because it is not hard to find like technical footholds here to raise the accolades for Bay at all.
Right.
And you do make a point where it's like, okay, Michael Bay films, you know, he has his niche and he's absolutely stuck to it. He's stuck to it for the past 30 some odd years. He knows what he does well, and he does do it very well. I honestly held out hope that seeing as this is like, I don't know, the 25th Michael Bay movie or whatever, that maybe we would get something a little bit more like Armageddon where there's a
Why?
little bit of a plot. I know. But the fact that this was such an action vignette music video movie depressed me a little bit. I was hoping for something with a little more substance at this point.
Well, and they tried to do that.
Yeah.
They tried to do
Threw
that
some
with 3.
stuff in,
Yeah.
You know.
You know, three's relationship with his mom.
Oh,
they
yeah,
threw
yeah.
that in there, which was honestly a little sentimental.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
That,
yeah,
that's
right.
a little bit redeeming for the jackass that he is through the whole thing. And then you have a little bit of Seven's
Yeah.
backstory. I mean, you can relate to the idea that he's a soldier.
But that's another thing too. Like Corey Hawkins, who played 7, and Manuel Garcia Rufo, who played 3. These guys are great actors.
They were terrific.
Yeah, but they got a paycheck.
They
Is
were
that- is that-
terrific.
See, there's so many ways we could talk about this movie. So, like that opens up a really good point of conversation. And both of you are actors, so we might as well ask the question now. Is that the real sign of a quality actor, where you have nothing to work with? Not nothing, but very little to work with.
Well,
But they stuck to their guns, and every actor in here, I think going into it, they knew, hey, we're not going to get a Golden Globe for this, but we know how to play our role. I mean, is that
well, for me, all of the characters are memorable,
okay?
which I think is the actor's job.
Yeah, okay.
So if they're all memorable,
yeah,
then I would say that that's a pretty good indication that they're not phoning it in.
ethnically diverse too.
Ethnically diverse. I mean, everybody probably knows who Ryan Reynolds is.
Sure.
He's probably a household name. I'm not going to say guaranteed.
right. But this is a big payday, and maybe a foot in the
Everybody
door
else is nuance. I mean, you might know Melanie.
well, if you're a
Melanie
fan of French
Laurent,
films, you definitely know.
if you're a
Laurent.
fan of French films, or if you're a fan of Tarantino films,
Oh, that's oh yeah,
Right?
That's right.
you're absolutely right.
She was also in the Four Horsemen movie, the Now You See Me,
Yeah,
right? And I think she's done some really good work. But I fell in love with her in Inglourious Bastards.
yeah, totally.
And I
Totally.
think you're supposed to.
yeah,
So those two are probably the biggest names outside of, Dave Franco.
Yeah.
Who's building a name for himself.
yeah. Who?
Everybody else, I didn't know who they were.
I get that, but like it's one of these situations though where I want to get to know like the actor a little bit when it comes to like a movie like this, because
hear ya.
action movies are, I mean, they're super fun, and I'm gonna get off this point because I'm gonna get onto like the positive stuff too, because I enjoyed this movie for what it was, but again, it also ticked me off in a lot of ways too. These people are very capable, and we're expecting them to be capable solely because they're in a Michael Bay movie. Michael Bay has, I mean, I think Netflix doesn't let go of its numbers, but I think the initial
This was $150 million
$1 million
to make.
right?
I can see why it was. I
Yeah.
can see why
Well,
it was.
I mean, for a lot of actors, that's the golden
I mean, the
ticket.
cars alone.
the cars alone. I was
Oh,
just
easy.
gonna
Yeah,
say that.
the boat and the planes and all of
all
what
of
they
that,
have
but
in there.
but
yeah.
that in itself is a hell of a star to have on your resume. I mean,
Sure.
I mean, say what you will about Shia LaBeouf, but I mean, he wasn't as big as he was until after Transformers. I mean, he was able to prove that he was really, really a marketable name, and that's something that I think these actors are kind of betting on a little bit. They're like, hey, did you know that Ben Hardy and Adria Arjona and Manuel Garcia Rulfo, they have the capability of acting really well in these action movies. It's a marketable brand that they can establish for themselves. So this is probably a blessing to a lot of them. It bothers me though that we have this talented cast and we're putting them into this, we're stuffing them into this canister and literally shooting them out of a cannon with like Uzis and martial arts and stuff. I mean, I'm chiding on it a little bit too much because I was expecting more than what I got. I was hoping that Michael Bay would be able to give us something with a little more substance from a plot point, but when it comes to the action scenes and when it comes to it being fun action scenes, I was definitely entertained. I definitely found it fulfilling. I just have a problem being able to balance those two things when there's a weak connection between these little vignettes that pop up.
I think outside of going with a cliche version of somebody kidnapped my girlfriend,
Sure.
daughter, child,
Sure.
Yeah.
spouse. I mean, global genocide is a pretty easy broad
Yeah,
stroke.
he's punching down when it comes to the
And
antagonist.
the
for
1
sure.
through 7 team is a broad stroke.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything personal about it. They tried to do that
yeah, and they failed
with
pretty
one
much.
story by watching what he went through.
Yeah,
But that was a fail to me in the sense of, okay, well, that's one act
Mm-hmm.
and you're just going against one guy. Sure, granted, there's more out there,
Right.
and they can continue the series however they want.
well, you bring up a good point. I mean, Dave Franco's character 6 got
Killed
split
right
in
away.
two, got
Yeah.
killed right
You
away.
do not want to hear this.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, no, I mean they got rid of him.
Yeah,
pretty
but I
quick.
didn't.
Yeah, that really surprised me. I mean,
because he was likable
I didn't-
instantly.
I didn't care.
You didn't?
I didn't
Oh,
care
I
that he
did.
died.
Yeah, no, I was
Because
like,
the-
I'm
Oh,
like,
I
this kid's
did.
fun. I want to see more of this
I
kid.
wanted to see more
right?
of him.
I
And
can
then
appreciate
when they
that.
Killed him off. It was like, what?
You can't
Yeah.
surprise me.
It's
It
just
did,
like,
man.
it did surprise me, like
on.
it's a missed opportunity. And when he died, I was like,
Well,
oh,
when
wow,
they make the
okay.
prequel, he'll be in it.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
But the thing is that's the
No, it'll
point.
be his younger. He'll be his son.
Oh, is that what
from-
we're doing?
Yes, yes.
Is that
yes.
where?
It will-
Okay,
it will
we're
be
going
his son.
there.
Yeah.
Like it'll be a I can't remember the name of the car that he was driving. It's a really expensive car too, like
Was that a Lambo?
a Benghazi or something, I think.
Yeah, it was
Like what they'll do is
ridiculous.
they'll have like an older version of it, but they'll keep the same like neon line
Oh.
color. So
They will.
continuity.
No,
Hold on a second.
it'll be his Schwinn.
Continuity. Sorry.
Schwinn 10 speed.
Exactly.
Because he's the driver.
But how can you dodge bullets on a Schwinn?
You
He's just
don't.
that good. You don't.
No,
That's how his
the
dad died.
slingshots.
Oh come on.
Because we're going to the kid version of it.
There we go. There we
Mass
go.
genocide
Mass
in tree houses. I
genocide
love it.
treehouse.
But the next time they do this, when they do the sequel to this, see,
Uh-huh.
then you're going to see lime green moped things and lime.
They're
green
gonna change it, though.
bicycles and-
Yeah.
You think?
The lime green was just this trending color.
Ah,
They're
okay.
gonna go with a new scheme.
With
I,
the
I
carrot
have no
off.
idea.
Yeah.
I would love to keep it because, like I said in the trailer, I really like that.
The trailer
green.
was great. It was super
Yeah,
cool.
it
I got
was
excited about
The
it.
trailer did a lot of spoilers for me, though. I
Yeah.
didn't like the trailer.
Well,
I
it's a
don't
Michael
like
Bay
trailers
movie.
because of that.
Yeah. I get
Like-
that's
If you're gonna give away some of the plot,
yeah.
then don't put it in the trailer.
Yeah, no.
Do you Mom?
Give us a hint.
I
Yeah.
hear what you're saying. And so that's a subject we talked about at length, and I always agree with you because you're right.
Yeah.
Mom, do you think this job did? What do you think was the initial mission of this job when Michael Bay is like, I'm on the in the editor's bay, or not even at the editor's bay, at the writing meeting or something, and he's like, here's the idea. Do you think he actually meant to tell a story with this, or was it just to make some money with Netflix?
Ooh.
I'm asking the hard-hitting questions on today's episode of Full Focus.
Well, I think probably the first thing was make the money.
Yeah.
But I do think that he deserves a certain amount of credit for
Totally.
at least trying to make it seem plausible.
Yeah, and we're I mean, like, the benefit of me having people who actually work in the community here in Salt Lake, we have an understanding and appreciation for the fact that nothing's going to get made if it's not marketable.
Right.
Right.
You have to have cash in the hand in order to
Right.
make sure you can pay for the cameras.
You have to have your stars and your story
Sure.
up front to get the cash.
Sure.
So, nobody's going to pay you millions of dollars to make a movie that doesn't have at least some
Yeah.
pull.
It's just one of these things, though, where I think that, I mean, I've been waiting for Michael Bay to give us like another. I hate to say like Armageddon. Give us another Rock. You know, I love The Rock, and it wasn't strong on the plot and everything, but it had like the same formula, great cast, great action scenes, but the
it
story
still had a family dynamic.
exactly, and it had like this the story had a beginning, a middle, and end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it how Michael Bay seems to be regressing into this shot-for-shot kind of director, where, again, when the action hits, it hits hard, and it's great, and I have a lot of fun with it. But then when they try and make me care about these characters by forcing in these gross, kind of fake-feeling points of emotion in here with Six's death, with the mother dynamic popping in,
Mm-hmm.
with we don't know anything about Laurent's character besides the fact that she's a CIA agent. I don't
Well,
like.
yeah, but she goes to see the mother at the end, so that makes it okay.
Yeah, does it? See,
With
that's
a
not
bouquet of flowers.
right, but
Come
that's
on.
exactly what I'm talking about. We have so much great action and beautiful color, and these incredible scenes that could be used as desktop wallpaper. Just give me an extra 15 minutes and tell me why I should care about this poor kid who got his neck split open by a
they don't develop
by a forklift.
his
It's
character
not
at all.
relevant
I know,
Yeah.
but that's their problem
because
they have
he
to
was
make it relevant.
Well, ultimately he served his purpose. He was the driver. He
Right.
was the capable driver. They lost their driver.
Right. Then don't
so
ask
then
me
they
to care.
bring in a sniper.
Right. Then don't ask me to care about your characters by putting in this gross emotional stuff to make me like fall for them in 2 minutes or whatever.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But this movie should have been 20 minutes long. It should have been 20 minutes long, and they just should have been like advertisements for like Red Camera or whatever the hell they shot this on. Because again, the shots looked amazing. iFilm? What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Get out of here! Don't ever say that ever
I
again.
know it's an iPhone movie.
Yeah.
Watch it on your iPhone.
That's it. There you go.
When we're talking about big productions, though, I mean, this is kind of like a way in which we can discuss a bigger situation that our very good friend who's no longer with the show, Mr. Umberto Estrada, brought up on more than one occasion. With this kind of trend coming in, where we have these big studio, at least from a price standpoint, movies beamed directly into your internet connection.
Right.
Do you guys think that movies like this, where it's, in my opinion, all about the money, still technically ridiculously competent, but very easy to see because it's right in your living room, do you think this is good or is this bad for filmmaking in general? I mean, where do we find the art in films like this, to use like a hoity-toity term? And do studios, when they see stuff like this happening, multi-million-dollar budget, but streaming to billions of homes and users at a night and that kind of stuff, opening doors for new actors and new studios, there's an argument to just make more movies like this and less of things like 1917 or like my Own Left Foot or Schindler's List or something like that. Do you think that this is
What movies were those? I've never heard of them.
How dare you? But that's my point, and that's something that I think Bert would probably bring up as well. I don't
Some
want to
art
speak for
pieces.
him. Not like art.
Story pieces.
That's such a loaded term, right? Like, oh, this movie is art. No, but what I mean is like when studios see how, I mean, a movie like this, a property like this, and it's done right, it's making numbers, we know it is. It's a great brand. When they're seduced by the capability of a film like this, though, a really high price point, but they would make their money back. I'm sure they've made their money back, even though Netflix doesn't release numbers. Is that detrimental to the movie making process? I mean, I guess it depends on like what kind of movies you like.
My answer is no.
Why?
Yeah, because people are always going to go to great movies.
Okay.
They're going to go to the theater to see. I think this should have been in a theater. I
Really?
think it would have been.
Well, then what makes a great movie then? Something like this where we have very sound technical capability with no plot?
There's
Or should
more
we-
than one great movie. This is action. This is just
And that's
all
kind of what
about-
I was going to say,
Yeah.
too. So I
you
agree
know.
with you.
So
Oh,
you go
man.
to see
I
this
know.
on a big screen. I think
2 actors in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. 2 actors. That is all.
I think to see this movie on a big screen would
Yeah.
have been a.
Oh, it would have been
I
awesome.
Really enjoyed.
Can you imagine some of the scenes here in
Yeah.
IMAX or 3D
Awesome
or
is the
something?
right word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I was.
But don't they make enough of movies like this?
Well,
Don't they make enough of these?
and that's just it. That's why I don't think that it's going anywhere. I think
Yeah.
people want to be entertained. They want to lose whatever they have going on in their life.
Yeah,
They
take
wanna
a
lose
break
that
for 2 hours. Yeah, I can respect that.
Go into a theater, watch some funny dude lead a crazy zany team
Right, right.
against some horrible person, and they win at the end or they don't win at the end. It's going to leave you however you feel. The end.
What do you guys think would be the best name for a sequel? Not Seven Underground. That's too bad. I know exactly. But what would be a good name for it?
No.
Seven above ground.
There you go. See? Thinking on your feet, Mom.
6
I
feet
like it.
under.
How
feet
dare
under.
you? I
Yes.
love that series. Don't you dare.
No, because you have to. It's 6 underground and 6 feet under is perfect.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, no, both contenders.
6 pairs of feet under. How's that? 6 pairs.
Six
of feet.
pairs of feet and a shotgun.
And a shotgun.
Gun. Very good.
Yeah.
That's one thing we have to talk about as well. Like
and a forklift.
Forklift. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
the deadliest
Can't
weapon of
forget
all.
that one.
See, that's the thing too. That's what kind of blew my mind. These people have freaking bombs and missiles thrown at them. What is the only
Okay,
weapon
so-
lethal enough to take one down? A forklift that's not even moving. It's
Thank
just
you.
standing there.
Thank you for saying so, because that's something that I was going to bring up. Is
Go for it.
these are superheroes.
Yes.
They are all completely
They're invulnerable.
impervious.
Yeah.
To everything.
I mean, they get injured and then they go jump and dive across a table.
Yeah.
Like 3 gets pretty seriously injured, and the next scene he's diving over a table.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No recovery?
I
None?
do really like
Stop
the
it.
work, the parkour work that was. That
Oh,
was
come
thrown
on. Yeah.
down.
Billy? Oh, I'm sorry. Was that a spoiler?
Spoiler alert.
4.
By the ever impressive and apparently very well balanced Ben Hardy.
Now,
Who
do you
knew
know
he
if
could
he
do
did
stuff
this?
like that?
Do you know if he did?
I seriously doubt it.
Okay.
No, I don't know right offhand. We could look for stunt coordination.
By the way, hell of an actor if he can play that,
Yeah.
and he can play Bohemian Rhapsody.
yeah,
and he can play in the Marvel universe in
Right.
Apocalypse.
See,
Right.
that's
Right.
That's kind of like what really kind of blew my
Just
mind
saying.
about this, because on more than one occasion, you and I have joked about if I got an infinite amount of money,
Right.
I would open a production studio, fully loaded out here in Utah, and the quality of filmmaking that we would produce may be good, but honestly, I wouldn't even care. I would put it up there solely for the one reason to provide people in the acting community work.
Sure.
And that's, I think, like, it could be the worst movies being pushed out, but at least
But
it'd
they
give people a
wouldn't be.
paycheck. They wouldn't be. But I think this movie falls into that. I think Michael Bay was like, you know what? They're giving me like almost $200 million. I'm going to have fun with this. And honestly, in some way, I have to respect that. I really think this movie was a lot of fun to make. It was really hard to make. But if I was given the option of being able to be put on the set for a day or whatever, I would take it up in a second.
No, you wouldn't.
How
No,
dare
you
you?
wouldn't.
No, your values are
My va-
so...
As long as they completely changed the script and had some artistic interpretation at the end.
What,
Right.
Now, what did you say? You'd be happy to be on the set for 1 hour?
Sure, 1 hour, one
Nobody
day, sure.
is ever on the set for 1
I get
hour.
it. Okay.
They tell
Here we go.
you you're going to be
Here
on
we
the
go.
set for 1 hour.
Oh, just be an
And
hour or
then
2.
Yeah.
12 hours later.
Just an hour or 2.
Just to show up and wait, right?
Yeah. Yeah, be there exactly at 9 o'clock because we want to shoot your scene at 9:15.
I'm trying
9
to find-
o'clock. That's sleeping in.
There you go.
4 a.m.
Yeah.
call times? Come on now.
I can't relate to anything either of you are
Stop
saying right now.
that.
I'm trying to find if there's a stunt team. The crew for this is immense. It was like the size of a small
There's the
city. Look at all
stunts.
these stunts,
Stunt
dude.
performers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you've got a double for Manuel Garcia,
Mhm.
Rolflo. Stunt double for Ryan Reynolds. Do you have one for Dude? And I don't think I
Stunt
see
driver.
it. Dave
Maybe we should
Franco,
just assume that he.
Melanie. I'm gonna guess that maybe he did some of his own stunts.
Awesome. That's super cool. Drew
I
Taylor
mean,
with
he
the
looked like
parkour
he was
team.
capable of doing so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Of course, I don't understand.
I bought it hook, line, and sinker if he didn't.
Right.
So,
I don't understand the logic though.
but
Of-
the production would not allow him to do the really difficult. ones.
difficult.
And why would that? Because insurance would be too much, right? I mean, money
Well,
talks,
no,
BS
well,
walks.
no, it's
No.
the stalling production. Yeah, no, it's all about the money.
Right.
I see.
Yeah, it's not about
If
the
something
insurance
happens to
payout.
him,
It's something. Yeah, they've got to hire another kid.
Yeah,
Well, let's
they-
see if Ben
yeah.
Hardy did his own stunts. That'd be interesting to see. So let's then move on to like a little bit of a smaller point that this movie kind of made in regards to just like the overall production value that's coming through with it. We have this film obviously went to different parts of the world. And when you go through and you have to think about the logistics that come behind that, it's really mind-numbing, because the same way that we have like, you know, union rules and whatnot in the United States, they have rules in different countries that pop up from time to time. I am beginning to wonder, I mean, besides like all of the glitz and glamour that we see with period pieces and like with movies like this, has it really become, I mean, unless you're doing like a documentary kind of situation, or if you're doing like maybe like a historical kind of reinterpretation of something, is it really necessary to globetrot like this anymore when it comes to action movies? I mean, I know it's like this. If you're doing like an action movie in World War II, obviously you have to take place in Europe, blah blah blah. But stuff like this, where it's modern day, where we have an easy trope to deal with, where we have an easy story to deal with, is it really necessary to go around the world? Is that because I found
necessary usually doesn't go hand in hand with making.
I get that. And
but-
it's a beautiful film, but I'll be honest, like I found the switches in the scenery, regardless of how pretty they were, kind of tedious.
Yeah.
I mean, as well as like the quick cuts and everything they went through.
It's a global based idea for
Yeah.
what this team is fighting against. So if everything was just in the States,
Yeah.
it wouldn't
Wouldn't
make
ring
sense.
true.
It wouldn't
Yeah.
work.
Just need a little switch to the story, though.
Plus, I mean, they're spies.
They are not
That's-
spies. Let's talk about that.
Just
Let's talk about
saying,
that. The biggest.
They're covert and undercover.
Right.
They are
They're-
covert.
There's 6 underground. They might as well call it 6 undercover.
Right.
They're 5 nannies for a rich dude that
5
happen to
nannies
know how
for
to
a rich
use a
dude.
gun. That's it. Let's get into that
No,
plot point.
but-
These guys
Call
are
it spy
representing
stuff or not.
Okay.
It's the idea.
It's the idea.
It's the magic behind that
It's the
because
magic
it's
behind
all
the
they're
idea.
all doing like, you know.
Look,
covert-
my
what I
covert
want to
actions.
know is what I want to talk about is that
no.
it
So
starts
my
out
no, I'm
with-
kidding.
Cutting off the special guest.
Goodness
Terrible.
sakes.
Terrible.
Well, I'll never come back. here.
No! Wait, hold on. I got something for this. No! Okay, take it back. Sorry.
What I
Go ahead.
want to know is, it starts out with him talking about being a ghost.
Yeah.
You're a ghost, and you see the whole him in the plane, and you see the whole plane going down. You never see it really
Red ball.
crash, but you see the his parachute and stuff.
Right.
You never. Who are the rest of these people? If they're supposed to be ghosts, how did they die?
That's a great question.
Are they
Well,
the one guy
we,
isn't. 'cause
we
he
saw
went to see his
7.
mom,
We saw 7,
Yeah.
right?
right? They established how he did his, right?
Mhm.
And we
Yes.
saw 1.
We saw 4 too because he gave him that Ben Hardy was like in that. Oh wait, no, he never faked his death, did he?
No.
No.
He never did.
No, that was like the whole pitch.
Mom, you have found a hole in the entire plot
Well,
line
that-
of this
yeah.
movie.
I don't think it's a hole. I just don't think that they addressed it. They just flat out ignored it. I
They
think
did,
they knew
yeah.
what it was.
Right.
But I mean, if you see 1 and you see 7, you get the idea
the
that
idea.
everybody else has done their own thing.
Okay,
Right?
but that's a valid question, Mom. You're right.
Yeah.
I hear you there because I thought about it.
See, that's the thing too. Like a
Because-
little, I don't need this to be Shakespeare. I just need a little bit more plot, like an
Well-
extra 5 freaking minutes.
Well,
you know?
and they kind of covered their bases with that in there with one little line.
Sure.
You know, the
Sure.
little Band-Aid line.
yeah,
When the bad guy, quote unquote, is talking to the person that he hired, aka the investigator.
right.
Who are these people? You can't find them. They're ghosts.
Yeah.
Well, this one supposedly died 7 months ago.
Right.
And they're talking about 5.
Right.
And I mean, it's sure, we get it. But then I'm gonna build on your statement there.
Yeah.
If he's a billionaire
Right.
that made all of his money from tech, and then he faked his death, the money stops. So I'm sorry, I don't buy that.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, unless he did a secret
investigative.
identity
See,
and
that's the biggest
built his
thing.
own life. It didn't explain any of those things.
Right.
What they didn't
either.
explain also is getting his hands on multiple pieces of ordnance and going cross country and through border patrols and everything. Trying to.
Money doesn't
I know.
matter.
Money.
Just explain that with money. He's
I
a
know,
billionaire. at
but
the
that's
end.
lazy writing. That's lazy writing. Well, how do you
Well,
solve
no,
it?
Well, what's the
money,
important
blah, blah,
part,
blah.
though?
Well,
And the
yeah.
important part is that they get
Is
there
the
and
border
they
check
act.
the important part?
No,
or is
it's
it
not.
Watching magnetic knives stab a dude.
That is absolutely
You know what I
awesome
mean?
and more
I'm just
important.
saying.
Yeah.
It is more important, and you're
Yeah.
right. But again, I'm not asking for this to be like the next Oscar award-winning film. I want just a sentence that explains
There's no
what's going on.
sentence.
There has to be.
There is no
There has
sentence.
to be.
Do you know
it's-
why?
Why?
It's a popcorn action
Okay.
movie.
Right.
Okay.
Right?
But it
I
could
don't
be
think you
a-
need the explanation.
But it could be a better popcorn action
And
movie if they
Stop
just gave
it.
me.
Okay,
All
it's
right.
gonna win. It's gonna win Academy Awards for its for its sound mixing
Yeah, that's
or
true.
its
Oh, and
editing
its
or its
cinematography.
cinematography.
There's no question.
Or it's not going to win anything for story.
For screenwriting, you're right.
No.
So there's that.
All right.
I mean, he's not going to win it for directing. He's a very competent director, very good director.
Very good.
But again, your statement at the beginning was it's a music
Yeah,
video.
you're right.
And I'm okay with music video movies because I'm distracted for 2 hours. I'm okay
That's
with it.
And there's
made for,
value
yeah.
in that. And I might be the only reason if this was Michael Bay's first film, I would be applauding it. You know, I'd be tears in my eyes. I'd be screaming his name. It'd be amazing. But I just expect more from him at this point in his career. And I just
but-
wish he would do it because I know he can do it. He's so technically capable
Yes,
when it
but
comes to
you-
these scenes.
You have to remember who he made this movie for. I mean, it was made for TV.
Which goes right back to another
Right.
question that I asked before. Like at points, you know, money's the more important draw,
Yeah.
right? The brand.
Was this one of the ones that was? No, this one was a direct Netflix release.
Yeah.
But they've
Right.
done a couple crossover releases.
Yeah, where it goes to the theaters.
theater
and then comes
as
back.
well as like you
Like
get
the
to decide where you
Scorsese
wanna
flick
go.
was in the theaters.
Right,
before it came to
right. But I mean that's also the idea is get your butts in seats however we can get
Yeah,
you
just
there.
make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well,
Um,
I think we're on agreement in regards to the proper application for the film.
Everybody should go watch it.
Everybody,
right now.
honestly, if
Yeah,
you want to watch it and you have
absolutely.
Netflix, go watch it. It's a
Yeah.
fun 2 hours. It really is.
Yeah, it's an entertaining.
It's just
Well, and
you
it
know,
won't cost you anything but your time. And I think at the
Yeah.
end of it, you'll either be disturbed with the violence or you'll be going, "Yay, that was fun."
it was definitely the bloodiest Michael Bay movie that I've ever seen.
There was an awful lot of.
Do you
that,
remember
yeah.
Bad Boys 2?
He did not do. Oh, I haven't seen Bad Boys 2. Wait, yes, I have seen
Bad
Bad Boys,
Boys 2.
Right. That was a Michael Bay movie.
It was.
Get out of town.
No, my buddy was in it. That's how I know.
Otherwise, you'd never know.
yeah.
He's looking good.
Yeah.
I'm looking at.
Are you
IMDb
looking at
now,
director?
for it. Yeah. The Purge. Oh, am I looking at director? Am
I think you're looking at producer.
Darn it.
I'm like, there's way too many
Way too many.
credits there.
Bad Boys 2. There it is. Back in
Right.
2003.
And by the way, I did like The Island as well. And I did like Pain and Gain, but it was stupid.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was
no, I
stupid
appreciate
fun.
completely where you're coming from. Well, then let's move on then to like the final part that we talk about with every episode then. And seeing as I have
How
two,
amazing Michael Bay is.
Oh, man.
Is that what we're doing?
we're going to start a Michael Bay
A Ryan
podcast.
Reynolds fan club?
We're going to start a Ryan Reynolds Michael Bay podcast.
Or what are we doing?
What are we doing, by the way?
We're going to talk about our specialties.
Indeed.
Thank you.
So what we do every episode, we come through and let you guys know where we're coming from because so we've been in the trenches. Andrus and I have both like done some grueling shoots in our heyday. Andrus more so than I. And Mom, my lovely actress mother Sharon Hayes, you know your way around some commercial camera, and you've I remember from growing up as a kid, theater is not a stranger to you in any form, shape, or fashion. So, but seeing as Andrus is the partner, I'm going to no, actually, you're the special guest.
Special guest.
Let's
at
hand it off
first,
to you
yes.
first, Mom. As an actor, what do you think would be some of the challenges in regards to this film? What do you think were some of the good things would be? Like if you were cast as anything, like, fortune teller B
Is
or
the
something.
fifth standby on the corner?
Yeah, you
waving
could
as
be-
the
you
car
could be
rolls
eight.
by?
No. We're calling you 8.
Yes.
For
Oh,
sure.
eight.
Your name is
Yes.
Abram now. But like specifically, like this film definitely has some difficulties, some challenges that people who haven't been in the trenches wouldn't really be able to pick up upon. What do you think were some of the things that some of the actors who were dealing with when it came to this production?
I have to say, and you might disagree with me, but I think most of the actors in this film, I don't want to say phoned it in, but I think there were more weaknesses
Okay.
than there were really substantive.
Is that the fault of the actor or the script, do you think?
Oh, it's the writers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's definitely the director.
Okay.
I mean, an actor can only say what's been written,
Right.
and it's up to the director to guide that. In my opinion, it's up to the director to guide that, and it's up to the actor to absorb the
Sure.
input and
Sure.
and turn it into a performance, given the the box that the actor is put on.
I like it. Andrus, from your experience, same question. What do you think were some of the challenges that some of the cast here had to deal with, and what were some of the strengths that you found when you were watching the movie?
Well, anytime you do an action movie like this, it's the same problem.
Yeah.
It's the story.
Yeah.
If there's no story,
Right.
then where do you go?
There's a lot of weight
You can
put on the
only
cast.
build so much into
Right.
your backstory, then to put it into context of what's being shot, then to collaborate with everybody else that you need to collaborate
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think for what this was and what its intention was,
Yeah.
Netflix popcorn movie.
Yeah.
I think they did a well enough job. I don't think that anybody sucked.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's important to say.
And what I said
for
at
sure.
the top of the show, I'm going to still stand by is like all of the characters were memorable,
Yeah.
and that's on the actor.
Yeah. Yeah. So they did a good job.
I think the director can make them look bad.
Yeah.
If that was something to do, but for me to go back and like Manuel Garcia Rolfo as much as I did.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm a fan of him too after watching Goliath.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that dude.
Maybe we should talk about that series too.
We
That was
should
a really good
if you
one.
want to. It's super good.
We got a couple on the back burner too. We have some
We
stuff to
do.
get through.
We do.
And this was a surprise kind of a turn for us, but we got some stuff to get through for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So you're
No.
saying-
But I would say that everybody did their job. I don't think that any of the characters, like we've talked about the entire show,
Yeah.
had real depth
Yeah.
behind what that is. But then again, we're just entering a moment in time, a period of 4 months, I suppose, and then some flashbacks.
Yeah.
They set it up. It happens in 4 months.
It's
so
crazy.
that's my
Yeah.
timeline, I guess. But yeah, I would say that I didn't hate any of the acting. I liked some of it. The standout for me certainly was Ben Hardy and Manuel.
Yeah, I appreciate that for sure. For sure. I think that from a sound perspective, everything was really, really excellent. I was not like even my phone going off. I was not a fan of how many music cues were just different tracks off the Muse, as if it was some sort of audio
I love it.
band-aid
I
they were
love
trying
it.
to put
No,
on
just
freaking
Play Muse,
everything.
Play Muse for me at any point in any movie.
They're such
and
a good
I'm just
band,
gonna love
but
it.
dude.
Hey, it was the only cohesive thing. That went through.
Oh, how dare you, lady!
That was amazing.
That was very good.
Well
That's a good
done.
point, Mom.
Well
You're
done.
right. You're right. But the sound effects for technical stuff, ridiculously good. I mean, this movie must have been so fun and exhausting and frustrating, but also so fun to do in post. There's scenes of like an ocean liner being flipped over backwards, and then you zoom into the kitchen where the knives, like you were talking about, are cutting through the air and hitting people and putting them up on walls. There's machine guns, there's cars, there's explosions.
How much time do you think it took to edit all
Oh,
that?
ridiculously long. But with professionals like on Michael
Yeah.
Bay's team, anybody could get taken care of.
They
It's-
wave their magic wands.
Yeah.
and
Yes,
it is
Tom,
magic.
that's it.
It is decades
Voila.
and decades.
I
of
would love to be a
experience.
supervisor on any of those
Totally.
levels.
I would just love to be in the room. I would be an intern. It would be
You,
amazing.
person that knows how
Yeah.
to do this.
Go
Yeah.
get the
Do it
coffee.
well.
Do it
And
well.
I'll tell you that it's great.
And I'll take the
take
credits.
the money.
Yeah, exactly. But again, I mean, it really falls into play like we've been saying this entire episode. The film is ridiculously competent. It's ridiculously competent from a technical level. The story just needs a little polishing. But again, maybe that's not what we're here for. Maybe
The
we're
sequel to be 7 above ground.
Absolutely.
No. 7. 7 doesn't have the same ring, does it?
No, not as 6. No.
But anyway, guys.
6 dug up.
Okay, good. Stop the titles. Thank you
love
very
6
much.
dug up.
Oh
I'm
my
on board.
God, both
6
of you.
dug up.
6 dug up.
Anyway, guys, we really appreciate you letting us talk about this film. Really appreciate any time that you give some of your time of the day to, listen to what we're saying. By all means, let us know how we're doing. Feel free to email us, pullfocuspod@gmail.com. Go ahead and like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on SoundCloud. And let us know what we're doing because we're trying to do our best. But as we all know, we may be wrong, but it's your job to tell us. Mom, thank you so very much for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. Andrus, Happy New Year, brother.
Well, Happy New Year
Yeah,
to you.
onwards and upwards, man. We're going to keep going.
2020.
You know it. You know it.
Do
I
you
can't-
see 2020? I'm living 2020.
Oh, dang!
All right.
Thank you very much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.